YouTube? What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is Cypher TV. I'm your boy Eric, and today we're gonna be reacting to why Bobby Roode is on course to become the next WWE champion. Kind of lost track when I was actually reading it because my mind starts wandering and stuff like that for some odd reasons. But yeah, like all my friends and family can tell you, I'm a huge wrestling fanatic. I've followed wrestling since back in the 80s on to current as we speak. And I kind of like fell off a little bit because, you know, it gets really boring at times. And some of the guys that they have, some of the characters tend to actually, how can I say it? They aren't authentic. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Like, they're not real. You understand everything is all script, and you know they have people writing for them. But anyway, I can blab about them all I want, but whatever. So we're gonna react to this right now. All right, let's start the show.
Like aliens coming down from the sky as if out of nowhere, Bobby Roode has popped up on the main roster mere days after losing the NXT title. Can you believe it? It's not usually what happens when someone gets called up either from NXT. He had no rematch from Drew McIntyre, just lost his belt and that was it. Whoop! Up he went. But I think there may be a reason for this, and I think that reason could be that Bobby Roode is in line to become WWE champion. Why? Here's why. First and foremost, what a crazy situation, what a crazy thing this is. Imagine a few years ago we were sitting down, we were having a drink somewhere, we were having a lovely conversation, and I said to you, hey man, or hey girl, or hey son, or hey dad, or hey mum or grandma, whoever I happened to be having a drink with at that time, in a few years, Bobby Roode could be WWE champion. You'd be astounded. He was in TNA doing his thing. It didn't even look like he was ever gonna go to WWE, and now he could be WWE champion. But since being brought into NXT and becoming one of the biggest names down there, it certainly seems like he's won a lot of people over, Triple H especially. So already, when we're talking about backstage management, a lot of people are high on Bobby Roode. And given how he's evolved over the last 12 months, I can completely understand that. And now that he is on SmackDown, we'll just have a look on SmackDown. When you look at SmackDown at the moment, what do you see? You see a massive hole that needs to be filled. Now, I'm not saying that Roode is here to be the next John Cena. I'm definitely not saying that, because whoever is to become the next John Cena, well, you're going to have to be WWE through and through. You're not allowed to go out there and ply your craft and then come into WWE. Whoever John Cena 2 will be, whoever takes his throne and does all that stuff, will start in WWE and they'll die in WWE. Not die, but you take my point. That doesn't stop these people from succeeding, of course. But I do think there's a reason John Cena was moved to Raw and then Bobby Roode was shifted into SmackDown. I do think, though, that WWE has this plan where they want to move Roode into the upper echelon of SmackDown stars. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to put him in this bracket where you want to be, surely his time with gold has got to come. I think it may work damn well too, as silly as it may sound. One of Roode's biggest assets is the fact he comes out to the ring with the robe and he's got stupid entrance music playing, which of course is awesome, and he's all about being glorious and all that. That stuff is preposterous, but the preposterous stuff in pro wrestling is always what's best, because preposterousness, which is hard to say, is so much fun. What we want is wrestling, be entertaining, be fun. It's so audacious it can't help but put a smile on your face, and while that's not enough to take Roode to the very top, have a guess what else he's got. He's really good in the ring, he's got years of experience. When you give him the freedom to cut a good promo, he can cut a good promo. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a man who's primed for a run at some point. In fact, if he didn't do it, it would be madness. Why wouldn't you at least give this a go? Given the situation he's in as well, if WWE does treat and book him right, he could become a megastar. We've mentioned the presentation, we've mentioned the in-ring work. All you got to do is make sure you push him in the right direction and all the boxes are ticked. It's all here. It's all good, man. If he's allowed to act like a star from the off, even fans who don't know who he is are going to start to buy into him. Even if you are a casual audience person, you watch wrestling here or there, you still know a good wrestler. When you see a good wrestler, they just have to be portrayed that way to you, and you start to see it more. So even if you've never seen Bobby Roode in NXT or TNA or whatever, as long as he's portrayed in the right way, you're going to start understanding why you should care. Put Roode in good feuds, give him the mic and allow him to talk, and the ladder is there for him to climb, especially because old Bazza Corbin, his push is gone now. His push has been stripped away like a car that needed to get paint taken off of it. So again, there's another hole to fill. And guess who can fill that hole?
Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode. It's not too dissimilar to what WWE did with AJ Styles, although AJ is the better worker of the two. But hardcore fans knew who he was instantly, and casual fans were still intrigued because they'd heard rumblings and they kind of knew about the bells and whistles. Then a man comes out with all this weird choir music and being all strange and again going, oh, glorious, you're going to buy in, you're going to like him. And while that presentation does kind of babyface Bobby Roode a little bit and he's better as a heel, there's ways and means. There's always ways and means. You just got to find the right angle, find the right story. And that is what's key here. Don't forget that. Even James Ellsworth was hot for a while because WWE came up with a good idea for him and James Ellsworth was in the position to execute it how it needed to be executed. He was never going to be world champ, of course, but if the individual is given the advantages and given the opportunities and they have the skill to make sure that works, have a guess what you get at the end of it. You get success. And because Bobby Roode does have main event world championship qualities, you can put the belt on him and things aren't probably going to die. If nothing else, inserting him into the main event scene just makes SmackDown more interesting straight away. You got Styles, Owens, Nakamura, maybe even Corbin if you want to do that. Jinder, Orton, Rusev. There are interesting matchups from the off, and the more interesting matches we can have, the more likely I am to stay tuned. I actually think his age helps him too, and I know he's coming up on 40, or maybe he is already 40, but that just means he can use all the experience that he's built up over the years and make sure he doesn't take a wrong step. He's not going to fluff up or make a mistake because he knows how to not do that. He's earned this position and now all he has to do is smash it and see it through, and I think he will. I cannot see him not succeeding. That may have been a double negative. Either way, he's going to do well. So yeah, Bobby Roode is future world champion? Absolutely. Now, of course, that idea has been watered down a little bit because Jinder Mahal became WWE champion. So you start to think, well, actually, you know what? Anybody could. But that's not the point. Bobby Roode's earned it. Bobby Roode deserves it. And I, for one, as a fan of pro wrestling, would be very pleased to see him in that position. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us...
All right, everybody. Well, my take on this video, they have, well, he has a lot of, how may I say, he has a lot of important facts, meaning what he's saying in terms of Bobby Roode. Yeah, Bobby Roode came from TNA. He was champion of TNA. I've never followed TNA, by the way, but I knew the name. Anyway, then he came to N.X.T. He made a name for himself in NXT. I've seen his gimmicks in NXT. Great entrance. He's just a flamboyant guy. He just knows how to come into the ring. He's charismatic. His charisma is out there as well. That's a big thing in the WWE. And to get a hold of the fans. Hence Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Ric Flair, and The Rock. Stone Cold Steve Austin, etc., 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 etc. So, for him to be the WWE champion, I could see that in the near future, or maybe possibly in the now. So we'll see what SmackDown and what the WWE has to offer with him. As long as they don't screw it up, then they might have a potential up and rising star. Yes, he's up in age, just like AJ Styles, but it don't really matter. Nakamura, these guys have the charisma, something that Roman Reigns needs to work on. All right. My wife loves Roman Reigns. She finds him hot, but hey, I'm being straight up real. The guy sucks. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you want to see more of the WWE and me of reacting to that. All right. Please also like, share, and subscribe. Till the next time, guys.